J Love Industries, JazzHandz, proudly sponsors one of J Love Industries' upcoming projects. We give you Little Hot Finster. Good afternoon and welcome back to JazzHandz. In the series finale pilot, here I interview one of Flycheese's members and one of the current people I work with. I give you the one, the only Miss Emily Watson. Good afternoon, Emily. Okay, welcome to JazzHandz. You know, it's you kind of actually the last episode in production order now. So just so you know, welcome to JazzHandz. I'll be interviewing you just to ask what your life about Fly Cheese is all about, and yeah, I hope I hope you've managed to find me here. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good, all right, you?
Not too bad. I'm a bit tired, but so yeah, so in today's episode of Jazz Hands, we will be explaining about how you've gotten so far to become where you are today. So I was wondering, would you mind explaining to the viewers to explain a bit about yourself?
Yeah, no worries. So I've got a degree in animation from Sheffield Hallam. It took me 3 years to get the degree, but I came from a more photography and creative design based background. But I'd done a bit of animation before, but I kind of decided I wanted to make a career out of it. So that's why I went to uni to get that degree. I've had a look into doing some masters, but for now I'm settled as a workshop facilitator over at Flycheese.
Wow, wow, that is very fascinating. I mean, you've managed well. You've worked and managed with great with students. Um, I'm guessing, you know, did you have like a passion? What made you want to become the animator slash student teacher session lead that you are today?
Well, I always had a thing for drawing when I was growing up, so I didn't really fully get into like art until when I went into secondary school. So when I was about 11-ish, that's when I actually started to draw quite a fair bit. And it's kind of what led me to doing 2D animation rather than anything else. Um, but yeah, I used to read and watch a lot of cartoons. I still watch a lot of cartoons now, really. So it's a good bit of inspiration for it. But with the
Mm.
teaching side, I do scuba diving as a hobby. It's something I've
Okay.
done since I was must be 10 years old. Because I did a lot of snorkeling before, and then as soon as I could get my hands on a tank, that was it. I did scuba diving, and I go to a club that's near where I live, and I used to teach people how to do scuba diving. So, people that hadn't tried it before, I'd take them in and show them what to do, and I did like doing teaching. So it's kind of best of both worlds, working at the studio because I get to teach and also do animation.
Cool, cool. That's what we're all about here. I mean, I'm just a rookie myself. I've been a rookie since because I've been at Rotherham College for my last 2 years of college. So I started off in media. My first feature film was stop motion called Suzuki's Doom of Slush, which was about this prehistoric toucan and these cave people who were the antagonists. It's the longest production I've ever worked on. I mean, I got an award for it in 2018. But yeah, I mean, my passions have always been different art styles. Like, as you may know, I'm working on a comic called Biscuit Wars, which was originally supposed to be an animation, but ended up becoming a comic in its revival. I mean, I've been working on it for it's been in production for 3 years, but it's managed to come to fruition. Okay. Question number two. What has been your recent project at Flycheese and at Sheffield Hallam, if you don't mind explaining to the viewers and stuff?
Ooh, so Flycheese currently, we've not got any professional projects going on at the moment. So I'm working with students on theirs. There's quite a few big ones that's going on at the moment. I've got a few that I will be ending pretty soon. That's on the last stages of production. So I'm excited for those ones coming out. Um, as for uni, the most recent thing that I have done was back in February. I did a guest lecture for my old Hallam course. So I came in and taught a range of first years, second years, thirds, and master's degree students how to animate a 2D four-legged walk cycle. So that was a really good experience to do because it was teaching to multiple different levels. So I got to go to my old haunting grounds that I've not been to uni for a while, and it was good to catch up with tutors, get new experience in teaching, and yeah, there's nothing set to do anything with university in the near future, but I'm hoping that more experience, more well, what's the word? More experiences, I'd say, like that comes up, and it'll be fun to take them. But for now, yeah, I'm just seeing what work comes out of it.
Speaking of work, I mean, you showed me one of your projects at Sheffield, and you showed me about these two cats. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What was
So those two cats were from my third year degree film. So when you're doing the animation course at Sheffield Hallam, your last year consists of doing a big dissertation, a separate module, which I did life drawing for, and the major animation project, which is where you make your own short film. So essentially, you think of your idea, do your storyboard, script, etc. You do your animatic, and then you animate it all together. And you could either do 2D stop motion or even CGI for that. I chose 2D, and I took a lot of inspiration from like the old Saturday morning cartoons, so, like Tom and Jerry, stuff like that, Looney Tunes, and so I made that, and it came up to about 3 minutes long, I think. So my production ran from September 2020 to May of 2021. So that's how long it took me to do the full project, and it ended up winning the Sheffield Hallam Media Arts Award at my showcase, which was really great. And I got a good award for that.
Wow, you should be really proud of yourself. I mean, you've come so far to work over at Fly Cheese, and going back, you said something about to me while at Fly Cheese about Toon Boom Harmony. Could you explain to the viewers about that if you've got anything to say, about Toon Boom Harmony?
Yeah, of course. So Tumu Harmony is a professional 2D animation program, which is used in industry. It's used in quite a lot of professional shows, and it's been used in some full-length films as well. It's a bit of a complicated program, but it is what we get taught at university. So it's the main source of 2D animation that we use. Um, and what it is there's three different bands, so essential, advanced, and premium. If you're like a beginner for 2D animation, it's not a program I'd suggest straight off the bat. I'd get some experience in doing animation firsthand. So like work on some of your basic principles. Flipper Clip is a really good app to use for that. But if you were wanting to use Harmony, I'd suggest jumping onto Essentials first, because there's a lot of features that you won't need in Advanced and Premium just yet. But it's all about just kind of having an exploration with the program. There's a lot of stuff you need to learn with it, but I use it to do all of my animation now. So it's definitely worth getting used to if 2D is a passion of yours.
So, I mean, Flipper Clip I've worked on since lockdown. I mean, I worked on these tutorial animations. My first three were based on Dynamite because I wanted to, use, so I did three of them. I did Firecracker, I did the rectangle one, I did the square one, I even did a bomb recent. Well, that was my recent animation on Flipper Clip. I'm also thinking about doing rotoscoping on Melrose Place, if you've heard of that show. It's an old 90s show which had celebrities like Heather Locklear, Courtney Thorne-Smith, Andrew Shue. I'm thinking of doing like a tutorial animation whilst working on whilst at home, whilst I'm working on Biscuit Wars. I'm meant to be doing like a trial animation so I can practice ready for Little Hot Finster. I mean, Little Hot Finster's going to be J of Industries' next featurette in production. I mean, it's going to be the first one on Flipper Clip, but um, I'm going to need to know how to, use a few, basics. But what would your opinion be on rotoscoping? Do you have any opinions on that?
Rotoscoping, I've not done a ton of, but it is a pretty useful thing to know how to do. It's like if you're needing a reference on how a specific character moves, like you can film yourself doing it and then get a feel of what the action is like. But in general, rotoscoping, it's it's very time consuming, but the end result does look really good from when I've done it personally and from when I've seen other people do it.
Great, great. That's what we like to hear and stuff. I mean, there's so much you can get out of that. I mean, when it comes to like learning the basics and stuff, I mean, rope scoping, I did an alien. This was something for Halloween, which was also back in lockdown. And I mean, there's so much that J Love Industries would love to get out of stuff. I mean, speaking on your behalf, what are your goals for this year, and what do you want to get out of teaching at Flycheese for future reference and stuff?
Well, it's strange because I've just gone through 6 months, I believe, of working full time at Flycheese now, which has flown by really quickly. But I still feel like there's a lot of stuff I have left to learn. But I'm really welcome to doing it. It's been a really good experience in getting to know all the students, all the work, relearning all new programs and things. One thing that I do know that I would like to get better at is how the studio's reaching out to use the program DaVinci Resolve. Have you heard of that one?
Resolve. Um, yes, I have heard of it, but I've not used. Well, I use DaVinci a lot for editing because I've recently used it at home to edit some of my YouTube videos. I mean, DaVinci was like a free version of Premiere Pro, so yeah. I mean, I use it. I've even started using it to do some editing for some of my former videos, like from a one-man show that I'm supposed to do this September after I've filmed it. I mean, it's basically like a performance reel, but just doing like performing characters of voices and stuff. I mean, as at the moment, my goal is to give Cool Lad a bit of a break. His new job is he's been demoted to just becoming Drake Love Industries mascot, but I'm sure Da Vinci, for people that want to start video editing, I think it's going to be a great step for them because one, it can be, especially if you don't want to be paying for so much for like Premiere Pro and stuff. So I totally get that. But yeah, I'm guessing you use DaVinci to edit some of your videos and stuff if you didn't bother with Premiere Pro, I'm guessing.
Well, at the moment, I do use Premiere Pro, which is why I would like to get some more experience with DaVinci. With it being free, especially, it's a lot easier to work with. because it's like a blend of Premiere Pro and After Effects with some of the stuff it has. So it'll be good to get to know how to use the program and what its limits are, just because then it'll be good to get other students into using it, because obviously then they can do some work on their own at home and have their own little projects to run. And like you said, some people have things outside of Flycheese, like you have your podcast. There's a few other people that like to do their own things out of that way. And I think it'll be good for them to have something that's accessible outside of using the facilities that Flycheese has.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I'm doing a bit of a side project for, how to use Adobe Illustrator. This was kind of my idea, but I suggested that we do it. So look forward, look up for that when it comes up on the Fly Cheese YouTube channel. I mean, it'll be me narrating it on how to draw a simple human, you know, how to draw the basic shapes on Illustrator, because I know some people do Photoshop, some people do Critter, some people do what's it called? Affinity, is it? But yeah, there's so much that everyone goes through for that particular kind of thing. I mean, everyone else has their own kind of perspective. I mean, for me, mine is just original stuff. I know Joe once said to me yesterday when we met up, he likes to do adaptations, which I'm not going to say because that's kind of personal. But I mean, everyone has their perspective. I know my sister chose to become a work office. I mean, it was an easiest job. I mean, she studied at Huddersfield for uni, so that's why she got her stuff. I mean, I chose to go to City College, but it wouldn't work out for me because I knew cooking was all, just wasn't right for me. I mean, you never know what you're gonna pick unless you choose. Thing is, and stress levels we've got to be aware of. I mean, mental health is, it's important to respect that. Give yourself self-care and stuff. So if you're laid back and you just want to kick back and watch Netflix or Disney Plus, go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready, here's a little some advice. Just take your time with it. I mean, all productions take a year and a half to get. I mean, look at how Disney moved on from hand-drawn animation on paper to computer animation. I mean, what's your opinion moving from one piece of 2D animation to, popular 3D animation? Do you have any opinions on that?
I wouldn't say I have any like hard hitting opinions on it. Um, like I said, the like how the technology has gotten to be doing like 3D and CGI animation, it's absolutely incredible. Like if you look at Toy Story back ages ago and compare it to some of the new stuff, you're like, wow, that looks so bad compared to what we have now. And it's just how tech's progressed. It does make me a little sad that we don't have a lot of 2D animation nowadays. It's why have you ever heard of a animation company called Cartoon Saloon?
Yes, that was, but that it had did shows like Skunk Fu and worked with Boulder Media, I believe. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're an animation company up in Ireland, and they only do 2D animation based on Irish folklore. So I think the most recent one they've come out with was from a couple of years ago, called Wolfwalkers. Um, I got to see it premiere at the Manchester Animation Festival, and it was really incredible. And they've done a couple other films. I think it's Song of the Sea and Secret of Kells, and oh, they're so good to watch. It's got a really incredible simple art style, but it's so detailed. And it's what makes me miss about 2D animation is it can look so simple, but the way that people draw and the way that people animate, it's just looks so. I'd hate to say better, but like kind of more satisfying sometimes than what 3D animation can look like. But overall, honestly, I am perfectly happy as long as animation's being made. that'll sell me.
Great to hear that. I mean, I know you're not familiar with various dates and stuff, and that's totally acceptable. Me, I got my childhood goes back to the way of the 2000s. I was born in the late 90s, so the perks of having autism is that I do a lot of research, and I've been doing a lot of research, not on animation, but I do a lot of pop culture, which helps creative industries become the unique non-profit adventures and stuff. I mean, who like wanted to do his own story based on lyrics, and I gave him it because it gave him a love interest. And the thing is, um, I do a lot of references, I do a lot of cameos. Well, albeit with my own style. I mean, take Ren and Stimpy, for example. I mean, they went through a lot of creative differences, and John Krafalousky gave it his all. But when Nickelodeon wanted things to be made on time, apparently he went things the wrong way, and that's when things went a bit bad for him, which I'm not going to mention like that. But I mean, Prostituto, have you heard of a company called that? They're the creators who do Rugrats, Wild Thornberries, I've told by Ginger, the Rugrats all grown up, even the recent Rugrats reboot. I mean, their animation style for Nickelodeon's great. I mean, compared to Butch Hartman on Fairly Odd Parents and Stephen Hillenburg as SpongeBob and stuff, but at least Prostituto made Nickelodeon what it was back in the 90s, as opposed to Nickelodeon stuff like The Loud House, Bunsen is a Beast, Big Nate. But thing is, um, but Jimmy Tartakovsky and Craig McCracken, now I'm intrigued by their art styles when it comes to animation in the 90s, because when they did Dexter's Lab and the Powerpuff Girls, they took their time with it. I mean, never mind the voice of Christine Kavanagh, who does Dexter, but I mean, at least compared to Samurai Jack and Primal and what other stuff they do today, or Hospital for Imaginary Friends and Wander Over Yonder and Kid Cosmic, I mean, they've come so far as cartoonists themselves, so at least I know which style I'll choose for any J. Love industry stuff. I mean, Hanna-Barbera did well. I mean, Disney did well in their late cartoons. You picture Pinocchio, but what would your opinion be on all these remakes and reboots and stuff? Do you have any opinions on that? Or do you think it ruined part of your childhood and part of your passions and stuff?
I wouldn't say like ruined. I think that's a bit too much of a harsh word for how I judge it. I'd say kind of a bit disappointed. Because some of the stuff that Disney's brought out is they've been really well, but I think for the past few years, especially with all these remakes, they're just rehashing all of their old stuff and just being like, yeah, it's new, it's CGI now. And I just think it's a shame because that production could have gone to something new instead of redoing something old that didn't need to be redone because it's already been done once. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I was disappointed with the Lion King thing because it just kind of the animation looked good, but the characters just didn't feel the same to me, strangely. And like this Little Mermaid one that's coming out. I mean, Halle looks like incredible, and I know she does a really good job with like her singing and her acting, but I just feel like it's just lost a bit of the soul that the original had. Like that covers everything. It's like taking away what the original animation did for it, and that's kind of what part makes me sad about it, which is why I'm excited for that new film that they're bringing out. Is it Wish? Where they've got kind of like a experimental kind of animation style of 2D and 3D blended. I think that's going
Yes,
to be
Wish and Elemental.
yeah, Elemental as well. That's Pixar, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to both of them. I mean, Strange World, I think it was criticised, not because it was a bad movie, but they've criticised the way LGBTQ is represented. And same goes for Lightyear. I think
Mm.
not only because Chris Evans wasn't a good choice. I think people criticizing the LGBTQ community that they're not ready to accept same-sex relationships, and it's kind of offensive because me personally, I know two of my family members, they're gay and I accept them, so I don't get why LGBTQ relationships aren't acceptable in movies for Disney. Because in the Power family, they've accepted some same-sex relationships, and they've done it in some other companies. So that's one thing that bothers me. But yeah, that's why I'm against people criticizing Strange World and Lightyear. Okay, two more questions. Okay, if you had a celebrity and voice actor favorite, who would you want to meet and why?
Ooh, that's a good question, and I'm not sure how to answer that. Oh, I like Christina V at the moment. She's been doing a lot of work in a lot of different cartoons. But I would say if I had to pick one person that I liked as a voice actor to meet, it would probably end up being Alex Hirsch. Not just because of him being a really good voice actor, but I don't know. I just think it'd be really interesting to talk to, like, and how about like Gravity Falls and how he came up with that, how he started to work on shows in the first place, and all sorts of other things. It'd be just interesting to know more about what he does.
Oh, I mean, Joe told me about his roles in the Owl House. I mean, he's great as King, he's great as Hooty. I'm more of a King person out of the Owl House, but I mean, he's done such great work for that. I mean, oh boy, I have a lot of voice actors and stuff. But ones at the moment, well, apparently they've ruined Total Drama, which I've kind of lost respect for half of the cast. I mean, the voice of Jen Masterson, if I had to pick out of the 16 in Total Drama cast, it would be Megan Follendock. Or if it was a voice actor legend, it would be the legendary Mel Blanc. Not only because of his Looney Tunes voice roles, but I mean, that's how Frank Welker started, that's how Don Messick started, that's even how voice actors like Michael Bell, Chris Bennett, Cass Soucy, Tom Kenny, Andy Milo, Christine Kavanagh, the late Christine Kavanagh, Laura Sprung even Pamela Adlon and, all of those guys. I mean, Nancy Cartwright, obviously, due to The Simpsons. But yeah, okay. What is your favorite food?
um, oh, favorite food. Oh, such a hard question. Um, one food that I eat over and over again, or that I used to eat quite a lot, when I was at uni was noodles. I couldn't get enough of noodles. Because they were quick and easy to do, and you could just scoff them down. If it was something that I had to properly choose, um, oh, honestly, I love barbecues. If you sit me down at a barbecue, I'll be happy.
Right.
Just
Burgers,
put
hot
down anything.
dogs?
Yeah, yeah, just anything as long as it gets stuck on a barbecue, I'll eat it.
Great, great. Okay, last and final question. If you had a message for young Emily, what would you tell her and how would you come across by it?
Oh, um, probably an important thing. Uh, do what you want to do. Like, I'd not listen to people saying like that kind of being a creative person that it won't get you anywhere, because honestly, do what makes you happy at the end of the day. If you're not enjoying what you do, it's not worth doing, I'd say. But because
Well, I'm guessing, I mean, criticism. I can handle criticism. I mean, I do a lot of criticizing myself. I mean, there's so much going on back then where there's a lot of criticism going on, and I do a lot of criticism on my YouTube channel. I do criticism in my logs and stuff. So, I mean, say Donkey Kong Country. I mean, the Mario movie is a success. I mean, it's the highest-grossing Illumination movie. Well, my second favorite Illumination movie now. Well, my first top favorite Illumination movie next to Thing 2. So I'm hoping I'll be able to stream it when it comes out. But would you want to give the Mario movie a chance though?
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it yet. Um, it's something that I do need to watch. With people there's a lot of people that's half and half on it. So I need to take out the time to watch that at some point.
Well, I won't spoil it for you. Okay. One more thing. What I would tell Flycheese members, new or old, continue with the ones that you're doing, continue with the projects that the patterns and projects that you want to do. If it's anything, I'm not going to stop anyone. I mean, it's everyone's passion, it's everyone's place, it's everyone's home away from home. So it's certainly mine. I mean, I'm hoping to continue with the comics. I'm hoping to do featurettes. I'm hoping to do more documentaries. I mean, JT Love Industries is all about documentaries and comics. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll be able to wish myself to meet some of those voice actors. I mean, it's like Adrian Trust, for example. I mean, he's not as recognizable. I mean, John Stocker isn't, or Kathleen Barr, or Ian James Corlitt, or Linda Valentine, or But anyway, I hope this interview has given a lot of explained to you what your career is all about. I mean, I'm glad I've managed to get you on here. So thanks for joining me, Emily.
Yeah, no worries. It's been nice to be on.
You're welcome. You take care.
Hey, you too, Jordan. See you
Bye.
later.